welcome to BayernNow, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. This is gonna be a bit of a different video because it's gonna include some different things I want to try implementing into the channel moving forward in terms of analyzing games. So this is definitely gonna be fun for me because this is something that I always wanted to try. So make sure you tell me how you think about this video. So today, in part of the whole thank you Hansi Flick and just an overview of Flick's influence on this Bayern Munich side, I just want to talk about Hansi Flick's tactics. What has he done to basically change us from Niko Kovac and get us to this point? I think it's been a superb difference. Literally, I think Hansi Flick was hired and the players automatically got a whole new philosophy from Flick. He absolutely had a whole different idea of how he wanted to see Bayern play. And the players, he added more aggression to our side. So first of all, to start off with, Hansi Flick has primarily used a 4-2-3-1 this season. He prefers that, but on occasions he does go with a 4-3-3 with Kimmich in the defensive midfield position. Thiago and Goretzka have also featured in the advanced number 8 positions. The backline Hansi Flick has mostly used has been a backline comprising of Benjamin Pavard at right back, obviously Neuer in goal, Boateng at right center back, Alaba at left center back, and Alphonso Davies, who featured in a left back since Hansi Flick took over. The wingers he uses, it could be a combination of Perisic, Gnabry. It could also even have Müller out on the right, but on the left-hand side, we've seen Gnabry play there. Even Coman has played there on occasions. It's been Gnabry, Müller in the hole, in the attacking number 10 position, or the false 9, or the Ramdeter position, whatever you want to call it. And then it has also featured Kingsley Coman on the right, but because of the injuries, Bayern have also seen Coutinho play in the hole, Müller playing out on the right, and etc. Lewandowski obviously is going to play up top. That's been the formation for the most part since Hansi Flick took over this Bayern Munich side. The first principle in Hansi Flick's system is the usage of the half spaces. Hansi believes in the half space more than any other Bayern Munich manager other than Pep Guardiola. Pep would like his attacking cams of De Bruyne and David Silva to occupy the half spaces and to basically create a front five with the wingers both hugging the touchline, while Hansi Flick sees it completely different. Thomas Müller is exceptional in between the half spaces, and he understands how to make runs and to move and to occupy and exploit spaces that the opposition leaves behind them. It is in this case that we see a lot of what Hansi Flick really wants to do with this Bayern team. Serge Gnabry and Kingsley Coman, or Serge Gnabry and Ivan Perisic, Serge Gnabry and Philippe Coutinho, Coutinho and Perisic, whatever the combination is, usually find themselves being the ones to be in that half space. That means there's 4 players in that central zone. Thomas Müller could be seen in the right-hand side channel. If you look at Müller's average positioning this season, he's been seen in that little right half space region right there because that's where he can put in quality crosses while also linking with Lewandowski superbly. Serge Gnabry is a lively winger, so him being on the left half space isn't as bad as you would think because he has the creativity to add a lot of goals and assists, and you can see in his assist and goal output this season in the Bundesliga and also in the Champions League. With the 2 wingers tucked inside, you're wondering who provides the width. Well, both Benjamin Pavard and Alphonso Davies this season have shown their competency when it comes to providing the width for our wingers. Davies and Pavard are tasked in the Hansi Flick system to move higher up the pitch, especially in the build-up phase, as Kimmich usually will find himself in between the 2 center backs. And Kimmich's partner usually has been Thiago, or even Goretzka, will find themselves trying to stagger the lines or even join higher up the pitch, depending on how the opposition's midfield sets up. If Thiago knows there's no one on him or close to him, he will try to exploit the space by dropping deeper, and Kimmich will go higher up the pitch. The difference between Hansi Flick's system and Niko Kovac was obviously the play in between the lines, but Bayern Munich do something extremely interesting. Like I mentioned before, Alphonso Davies could be seen hugging the touchline as well as Benjamin Pavard to provide the width that the fullbacks left by occupying the half spaces. But it could also be completely the opposite. In the Hansi Flick system, it could also mean that Alphonso Davies and Benjamin Pavard tuck inside, depending on if there's no space for them. They tuck inside into the midfield, and that would allow Serge Gnabry and whoever the winger on the right-hand side would be to occupy the winger position. This would also allow Bayern's midfield of Thiago, Kimmich, or whoever it is to even push higher up the pitch which explains why Goretzka has had a few goals this season, especially coming from the double pivot with Kimmich. And Kimmich has actually contributed a lot of goals. Because of the movement of Davies and Pavard tucking inside, it allows Kimmich and Thiago, knowing there is cover, to even push higher up themselves. And there is no need to have a back three in that situation because you already have defensive cover and superiority of 4 defenders essentially. Like I mentioned, the back three build up is in principle something that you can associate with Bayern. With Kimmich and Goretzka and Thiago all competently able to drop in between the center backs and all composed on the ball in order to do so. You can see Bayern have Kimmich drop in between Boateng and Alaba, which then spreads the pitch and means that whenever the opposition presses our center backs, there is always an extra man, with Manuel Neuer and his competency being able to allow that to happen as well, almost having 4 footballers against 2 or even 3 at times. This allows Pavard and Davies to stretch wider, and this obviously initiates the whole movement into the half spaces higher up the pitch. Robert Lewandowski is really crucial for this system because his incredible strength attacking wise, he's able to then hold the ball up in between the half spaces, lay it off, while also being able to come deep sometimes and collect the ball if there is no space for him higher up the pitch. The interchangeability of Bayern also works because you'll see the front three frequently moving to the different spaces that are created and to try and move and tarnish the opposition defense and tear them apart. When it comes to the pressing side of Bayern's game, it is a very interesting method of pressing, very different. I coined it as a U because it comprises of a U. Serge Gnabry and Kingsley Coman can be seen as the highest pressing players at times, which means they will occupy the spaces, which mean they will be seen pressing the center backs instead of the full backs. As wingers, most of the times, the wingers stay between the center backs and the full backs, but Serge Gnabry and Kingsley Coman, or whoever the other extra man is, or whoever the other winger is, usually are seen pressing the opposition center backs instead of the full backs. This allows the formation of the U. Robert Lewandowski usually reserves his pressing to be the final man. Robert Lewandowski and Thomas Müller are incredibly intelligent players, which means that they are able to then almost double themselves up on the opposition and press. But this U formation mostly allows Bayern's athleticism to really show itself. First of all, David Alaba and Boateng can be seen holding themselves at the halfway line because of the freedom they get with Alphonso Davies' recovery pace playing a huge part in that. And Manuel Neuer's incredible athleticism to come out and sweep and to be very intelligent in key moments when required to be. This means that Davies and Pavard can also push on the opposition fullback. It becomes almost like a straight dash, a straight line as a U, hence the U dash, and then the 2 center backs behind Kimmich and Goretzka also pressing become the other dash. So not only are Bayern Munich competently building the ball out of the back and being flexible in the attacking phase of things and also being unique and creative in every single moment of the game, they're also incredibly gifted at moving the ball in between the channels. Hopefully everyone enjoyed this video. I tried to make it as entertaining as possible. Obviously it will take a lot of work, but I want to make more of these. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Mia san mia and peace.